to this former CVS employee. She says while the pharmacy remains understaffed, dangerous mistakes.
If you've been shopping at CVS for years, picking up prescriptions, grabbing a few things on your way out, maybe scanning your ExtraCare card without thinking much about it, this video is worth your time. Not because CVS is doing anything wrong, but because a lot has quietly changed over the past few years, and most of those changes aren't obvious unless you know exactly where to look. CVS isn't just a pharmacy. It's a system built around convenience, habits, and very specific shopping behavior. Some of how that system works benefits you, some of it doesn't. And a few things have always been there, even if almost nobody talks about them. In this video, we're walking through 18 things longtime CVS shoppers should know, from pharmacy pricing to rewards rules to checkout patterns that add up over time. And if you've ever wondered why your CVS receipt feels longer than your shopping list, there's a reason for that. Let's start with number 18, the price tag that tells you more than you think. Most people glance at a CVS price tag, see the number, and move on. But those little shelf labels actually contain information that can change how you shop, if you know how to read them. Look at the bottom of any CVS price tag. You will see a smaller number showing the unit price, the cost per ounce, per count, or per tablet. That number is the real comparison tool. A bottle of 100 ibuprofen tablets might cost $8.99, but the bottle of 200 tablets right next to it might cost $11.99. At first glance, the smaller bottle looks cheaper, but the unit price tells the truth. The bigger bottle costs less per tablet. I have seen people grab the smaller size over and over, thinking they are saving money when the math says otherwise. CVS puts both numbers right there on the tag, but the unit price is small and easy to miss. Once you start looking at unit prices instead of sticker prices, you shop differently. It takes an extra second, but over a year of pharmacy visits and household purchases, that second adds up to real savings. The ExtraCare card has quietly changed. If you have carried an ExtraCare card for years, you probably remember when the rewards felt simpler. Scan the card, get the sale price, earn some ExtraBucks, done. The system still works that way on the surface, but underneath, CVS has added layers that many longtime shoppers do not realize exist. Now there are personalized deals that only appear if you check the app or the in-store kiosk before you shop. These are not the same as the sale prices on the shelf. They are additional discounts tied to your specific shopping history, and they do not apply automatically. You have to load them to your card first. I watched a woman at the register last month, a regular who has probably shopped there for decades. She had her ExtraCare card, she got the sale prices, but she missed about $4 in extra savings because she did not know about the digital coupons waiting in her account. CVS moved a lot of the value into the app. If you are not checking it, you are leaving money on the table. Not because you did anything wrong, but because the system changed and nobody really announced it. The good news is, once you know it exists, it takes about 2 minutes to check before you shop. Most of the offers are things you were going to buy anyway. The pharmacy counter knows things you might not. Here is something that surprises a lot of people. The price of a prescription at CVS can vary depending on how you pay for it. If you have insurance, you pay whatever your plan says. But sometimes, the cash price, the price without using insurance at all, is actually lower than your copay. CVS pharmacists can see both prices, but they will not always volunteer the information unless you ask. I learned this the hard way years ago. My insurance wanted $45 for a generic medication. I asked, just out of curiosity, what it would cost without insurance. The pharmacist checked and said $12. Same pill, same bottle. I paid $12. This does not happen with every medication, but it happens often enough that asking the question is worth your time, especially for generics. A simple, what would this cost if I paid cash, can sometimes cut your bill in half. The pharmacist is not hiding anything. They are just following the system they are given. But you are allowed to ask, and many people do not know that. The 90-day supply most people skip. If you take a maintenance medication, something you refill every month for an ongoing condition, CVS offers a 90-day supply option that most people never use. Instead of picking up 30 pills every month, you pick up 90 pills every 3 months. The price per pill usually drops, sometimes significantly. You also save yourself 2 trips to the pharmacy, which matters if getting there takes effort. A lot of folks stay on the 30-day cycle out of habit. That is how it started, so that is how it continues. But switching to 90 days is usually just a conversation with your pharmacist or your doctor. They adjust the prescription and you are set. I have talked to regulars who did not know this was an option until someone mentioned it. Once they switched, they wondered why they waited so long. It is not a secret exactly. It is just something CVS does not push hard because monthly refills mean more visits, and more visits usually mean more purchases. But for people who value convenience and want to stretch their dollar, the 90-day option is worth asking about. Before we move on, if this is helpful so far, take a moment to subscribe. We put out videos like this every week, and they are designed for people who appreciate knowing how things actually work. Now, back to the list. The store brand nobody talks about. CVS has its own store brand, and most people walk right past it without a second look. But here is what a lot of longtime shoppers do not realize. Much of it is made in the same facilities as the name brand products. CVS Health ibuprofen, for example, contains the same active ingredient in the same dose as Advil. The FDA requires it. The difference is the packaging and the price. A bottle of CVS Health pain reliever often costs 30 to 40% less than the name brand sitting right next to it. This applies to a surprising range of products: allergy medicine, antacids, cold and flu remedies, vitamins, even some skincare items. I switched to CVS brand acetaminophen years ago. Same relief, same dosage, lower price. I have never noticed a difference, and neither has anyone I have recommended it to. The hesitation some people feel about store brands is understandable. For years, generic meant lower quality. But regulations have changed, and for over-the-counter medications, the active ingredients must be identical. You are paying less for the same product without the advertising budget built into the price. If you have never tried the CVS store brand on something you buy regularly, it might be worth a test. Start with something low risk and see how it compares. The receipt is longer for a reason. This one is famous. You buy a tube of toothpaste and the receipt is 2 feet long. It has become a running joke. But here is the part most people miss. That long receipt is full of coupons that are specifically chosen based on what you just bought. CVS tracks your purchases through your ExtraCare card. When you check out, the system prints offers tailored to your shopping habits. If you buy allergy medicine regularly, you might get a coupon for allergy medicine. If you buy a lot of snacks, you will see snack deals. A lot of people throw the receipt away without looking, but tucked inside that paper are often $2 or $3 in savings for your next visit, sometimes more. I started actually reading my CVS receipts a few years ago. Not every coupon is useful, but once or twice a month, there is something I was going to buy anyway. That adds up. The receipt is long because CVS wants you to come back, but if you are going to come back anyway, you might as well use what they are giving you. It takes 30 seconds to glance through before you toss it. The front of the store has different rules. Here is something that catches a lot of regular shoppers off guard. The pharmacy section and the front of the store operate almost like two different businesses. The pharmacy is tightly regulated. Prices are influenced by insurance networks, wholesale costs, and federal rules. But the front of the store, where you find snacks, drinks, cosmetics, and household items, is priced like a convenience store. That bag of chips near the register might cost $4.49 at CVS, while the same bag is $3.29 at the grocery store down the street. The bottle of shampoo might be $1 or $2 more. Greeting cards, batteries, candy bars, all of it tends to run higher than you would pay at a larger retailer. CVS knows you are already there for your prescription. They know it is convenient to grab a few extras, and they price accordingly. I am not saying you should never buy anything from the front of the store. Sometimes convenience is worth paying for. But if you are watching your budget, it helps to know that those impulse items near checkout are not priced competitively. They are priced for convenience. The pharmacy is where CVS competes hard. The front of the store is where they make up margin. Once you see that pattern, it changes how you shop. The minute clinic trade-off. CVS. Minute clinics have become popular for quick visits. Flu shots, minor infections, routine screenings. You walk in, see a nurse practitioner, and walk out without scheduling an appointment weeks in advance. For simple things, it works well. The convenience is real, especially if you just need a quick answer or a basic prescription. But here is what longtime shoppers should know. Minute clinic pricing is not always straightforward. The cost of a visit depends on what they diagnose, what tests they run, and whether your insurance covers clinic visits differently than doctor visits. I have heard from folks who expected a $30 copay and ended up with a $90 bill because the visit was coded as something their insurance treated differently. It was not wrong, just unexpected. Before you sit down, it is worth asking what the visit will cost with your specific insurance. The staff can usually look it up. If you are paying out of pocket, they can tell you the cash price up front. Minute Clinic is genuinely useful for the right situations. But like everything else at CVS, understanding how the pricing works helps you avoid surprises. The GoodRx question, and a lot of people have heard of GoodRx by now, the app that shows you prescription prices at different pharmacies. What many do not realize is that CVS accepts GoodRx coupons, and sometimes the GoodRx price is lower than both your insurance copay and the CVS cash price. It sounds strange that a third-party app could beat the prices offered by the pharmacy itself, but the pricing system for medications is complicated, and different discount programs negotiate different rates. I have seen situations where a medication costs $60 with insurance, $45 cash at CVS, and $18 through GoodRx at the same CVS. Same pill, same pharmacy, 3 different prices depending on how you pay. The pharmacist will not suggest GoodRx to you. It is not their job to promote outside apps, but they will accept the coupon if you show it. Before you fill a prescription, especially a new one or an expensive one, it takes about 30 seconds to check the GoodRx price. If it is lower, you can use it. If not, you pay the normal way. There is no penalty for asking. The ExtraBucks expiration trap. ExtraBucks are the rewards CVS prints on your receipt after qualifying purchases. Spend a certain amount, earn $1 or $2 back. It feels like free money, and in a way, it is. But here is what catches a lot of people. ExtraBucks expire, usually within about 2 weeks, and the expiration date is printed in small text at the bottom of the coupon. I have talked to shoppers who saved up their ExtraBucks, planning to use them on a bigger purchase, only to find out half of them had already expired. That $5 they thought they had was now worth nothing. CVS designs the system this way on purpose. They want you to come back soon, not eventually. The short expiration window creates urgency. If you earn ExtraBucks, use them quickly. Do not save them for a rainy day. Check the date, plan a small trip, and cash them in before they disappear. Otherwise, the reward you earned becomes a reward you never actually received. The checkout upsell you barely notice. If you pay attention at the CVS register, you will notice a pattern. The cashier asks if you want to donate to a charity. The screen asks if you want to round up. There is often a promotional item near the card reader. None of this is aggressive. It is polite, routine, almost invisible, but it is designed to add small amounts to your transaction that you might not have planned on. The charity donations are legitimate. The roundup programs go to real causes. But if you are saying yes out of habit rather than intention, those small amounts add up over time. I am not suggesting you never donate or never grab a small item. I am just pointing out that the checkout experience at CVS is designed to ask for just a little more, over and over. Being aware of that helps you make intentional choices instead of automatic ones. The photo center value. Here is something that often gets overlooked. CVS has a photo printing service, and for certain things, the prices are genuinely competitive. Passport photos, for example, are a flat rate at CVS and ready in minutes. Standard photo prints are affordable if you order through the app and pick up in store. Holiday cards and photo gifts go on sale regularly. A lot of people assume dedicated photo shops or online services are always cheaper. Sometimes they are, but for quick turnaround and convenience, especially if you are already going to CVS for something else, the photo counter is worth checking. I have printed passport photos there twice. Both times I was in and out in under 10 minutes and the price was what they quoted. No surprises. It is a small thing, but for people who like handling errands in one trip, knowing the photo service exists and works well can save time. The prescription transfer incentive. CVS occasionally runs promotions where they offer a gift card if you transfer a prescription from another pharmacy. These promotions are not always advertised loudly, but they exist. If you are thinking about switching pharmacies anyway, or if CVS is more convenient than where you currently go, it is worth asking if there is a transfer incentive running. Sometimes it is $10, sometimes more. The process is simple. You give them the information for your current pharmacy and they handle the rest. The prescription shows up in their system and you get the bonus. I would not switch pharmacies just for a gift card. But if you were already considering it, the incentive is a nice bonus that many people do not know to ask about. The difference between locations. Not every CVS is the same. Prices on some items, especially front-of-store products, can vary slightly depending on the neighborhood. Stores in higher cost of living areas sometimes charge a bit more. The pharmacy prices are generally consistent since those are tied to contracts and regulations. But that bag of chips, that bottle of vitamins, that greeting card, those might cost a little more at one CVS compared to another 15 minutes away. It is not a dramatic difference, but if you have 2 CVS locations near you, it might be worth comparing prices on the things you buy regularly. You might find that one store is consistently a better value for your routine purchases. I noticed this a few years ago when I moved across town. Same chain, same card, slightly different prices on certain items. Now I know which location to use for what. The rain check policy. If you see a sale item at CVS and it is out of stock, you can ask for a rain check. This is an old retail practice that many people have forgotten about, but CVS still honors it. A rain check is a written promise that you can buy the item at the sale price when it comes back in stock, even if the sale has ended by then. The cashier writes it up, you keep the slip, and you use it when the item returns. I have used this maybe 3 or 4 times over the years. Each time, it worked exactly as expected. The product came back, I showed the rain check, and I got the sale price. Not every item qualifies, and not every situation makes sense for a rain check. But if something you actually need is on a good sale and the shelf is empty, it is worth asking. You might save that sale price for weeks. The prescription reminder system. CVS has an automated system that sends reminders when your prescriptions are ready, when they need refills, and when they are about to expire. This can be genuinely helpful, or it can feel like too much. What most people do not realize is that you can customize these settings. You can choose to get texts, emails, phone calls, or none of the above. You can turn off the refill reminders if you prefer to manage things yourself. I have talked to folks who were frustrated by constant calls and did not know they could turn them off. On the other side, I know people who rely on those reminders and would miss refills without them. The point is, you have control. If the notifications are helpful, keep them. If they feel like too much, you can adjust them at the pharmacy counter or through the CVS app. The system is supposed to work for you, not annoy you. The competitor price match. This one is not widely known. CVS will match competitor prices on many items if you ask and show proof. If you see the same product cheaper at Walgreens, Walmart, or another local store and you have the ad or the app showing the price, CVS can often match it at the register. It depends on the item and the manager, but the policy exists. I have done this a handful of times. Each time, I simply showed the cashier the competitor's price on my phone, and they adjusted it. No argument, no hassle. It does not work for everything. Prescriptions have different rules. Some promotions do not qualify, but for everyday items where the price difference is noticeable, it is worth asking. The worst they can say is no. The checkout lane that saves time. Here is the simplest tip, and the one most people overlook. CVS usually has a register at the pharmacy counter, not just at the front of the store. If you are picking up a prescription and you have a few other items, you can often check out right there at the pharmacy. The line is usually shorter, especially during busy times. You skip the front registers entirely. I do this almost every time now. Pick up my prescription, grab the 1 or 2 things I need from the front, and pay at the pharmacy counter. In and out in half the time it would take waiting at the main registers. Not every CVS allows this, and some pharmacies get busy during peak hours. But most of the time, it works. And once you realize it is an option, you wonder why you ever waited in the long line up front. CVS is not trying to trick you. They are running a business, and they are running it well. But the more you understand how the store actually works, the more control you have over your own experience. You now know how to read the price tags, how to use your ExtraCare card properly, how to ask the right questions at the pharmacy counter, and where the real value hides in a store that can sometimes feel overpriced. Most longtime CVS shoppers are already smart about how they use the store. This video just fills in a few gaps that are easy to miss unless someone points them out. Next time you walk in, you will see things a little differently. Not with suspicion, but with awareness. And that awareness is what helps you get the most out of every visit. If this was useful, share it with someone who shops at CVS regularly. And if you want more videos like this, subscribe so you do not miss the next one. Thanks for watching. We will see you next time.